So yeah, so I'm going to talk about 4 different products now. 3 of them are skincare based and 1 of them is mind care based. So this gives a really holistic approach and they're all designed for stressed skin. So very appropriate from what we've been talking about tonight. And it has that integrative approach from the outside in. And I think this is absolutely key when we are looking to really correct things that are imbalanced in our bodies. So initially in the collection, we have something called the Super Calm Cleansing Milk, which I'll show you here. And this is based on using just 1 small pump. It's a non-firming, milky texture, and it's designed to help to really take out the impurities from the skin. And how you use it is literally work it over the skin in small circular movements, and you can either use a water to rinse it off, or if you didn't want to actually use water to rinse off, you can just take it off with some cotton wool pads. So for those people that perhaps, as I say, don't particularly like washing or rinsing the skin, perfect for you. And what it does is actually put a protective film on the skin. So the texture of it is lovely, but you notice that there is a slight residue that's been left behind, and this helps to protect the moisture barrier. So when our skin is stressed, often it's from dehydration, and this whole range helps to put the hydration back, but it also protects the skin and it reduces redness as well. So yeah, works very quickly. And just before I progress into the next item, because there's only 3 in the skincare, I just want to give you some clinical results from the usage of these. And this was actually taken over 28 days, and the 28 days is really purely being done because that's how long generally a skincare cycle will take from the cells that are starting to grow in the basal layer of the skin as they travel and migrate to the skin surface. That cycle is normally over those 4 weeks or so. As you age, then it does take a little bit longer, up to about 40 days, 45 days. But generally, the majority of people that are under, say, 40 have a 28-day skincare cycle. And so after 4 weeks of using this, there was 20% less reduction in redness. So 20% less redness appeared on the skin from using these. And that's using it day and night for 28 days. The other impressive statistic, there was actually 40% increase in hydration. So that means that the skin felt more dewy, more moist, it wasn't tight, it wasn't sensitive, it didn't feel or look crepey, and it felt good and comfortable. Because I think when the skin is stressed, and I've certainly had stressed skin in the past, it just feels uncomfortable to wear. So this puts that hydration back as well. And the other really significant change in all these clinically proven results was that there was also a decrease in pigmentation marks as well. And that is because of this second product, which I will show you. So this is called the Super Calm Skin Relief Serum. So this is in a pump action. And this is designed to help to gently exfoliate the skin, but also to brighten it as well. And it's like a skin relief product. So it helps to soothe, but it's also going to be that thing that's responsible for brightening and taking away the darkness, that pigmentation marks on the skin as well. And it's got something in that called probiotic lysate. And that's what it does. It helps to support that pigmentation, and it's given that mild exfoliation. I didn't mention, which I wanted to, which I'll go back to, the agastache. That's one of the key ingredients in the milk. And that again is helping to support that moisture barrier, as I said. And the probiotic lysate is also in the serum that I've just mentioned, along with another ingredient called tiger grass blend. So the tiger grass blend is actually a Chinese herb, And there was like quite an interesting fun fact with this, why it's called tiger grass blend. And apparently lots of years ago, you would find tigers rolling around in this particular herb. And it was meant to have been because when they were injured and they needed to heal and want their wounds healed, they would roll about in it naturally. They just knew from nature, as sometimes animals do, don't they? They have these instincts, and that's where the name comes from. And basically it helps to heal, and that's what it's doing when the skin is really stressed and sensitive. So the third product has a combination of all those ingredients, the lysate and also the tiger grass and the agastache, and this is a nice super calm soothing hydrator. So this is really like your day and night cream. It can be used both day and night, and it's so lovely. It's like, it's classed as a lotion, but to be honest, I think it's probably, for me, having a background in skincare, I'd say it's more of a cream, you know, because it's got that really beautiful quality to it. It's not heavy when it goes onto the skin, and you really feel like it's working and feeding and nourishing, but it's quite lightweight as well. Even though it's rich, it's lightweight, so it's not greasy either. None of Arbonne products are greasy at all, and that really comforts the skin. Once again, it protects the moisture barrier. Now, what I would say is, if you are going out in sunshine, then or in a day, obviously we have got sun still behind the clouds, we know that, and it can still burn, but I would say, you know, like if you are outdoors a lot, then you do probably need to use an SPF cream over the top of that, because you don't have the protection in it. But what you do find often with sensitive skincare, it doesn't always carry SPFs in it, because SPFs can be known in some formulations as something that is going to, again, help the skin respond in more of a sensitizing way. So it's left out just as a precautionary measure, just in case, for hypersensitive skin. So all of those three things, using those for 28 days, you're going to see significant changes in blotchiness, in redness, in tightness, in that crepiness almost, and that horrible, uncomfortable feeling in any kind of stressed skin. It'll give you that nourishing factor very, very quickly. And just to really do the mind side now, so this whole set has been put together, they say, for that integrative approach for inside, outside body. And this product here is actually a drink, and it's called Inner Calm. So you can see this here, and inside there's a little scoop, and it's a powder, and it's basically a special drink that allows the body to help to feel less stress, less anxiety, and to promote that feeling of calmness and that nice, almost like de-stressed, really good feeling. And it's been kind of like labeled as meditation in a bottle. But what I would say is that when you actually use this, and this can go as a powder into any liquid, you need probably about 250 ml size liquid, and it can go in hot drinks or cold drinks. And you just literally work it in, and as you would move it around with a spoon, and you basically would take this, and after probably about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you start to feel that calmness in the body and to reduce the anxiety. And the reason this works is because of the herbs that are in it and these special medicines that are known as adaptagens. Now, adaptagens are really like this breakthrough science that allows special different herbs and medicines that are able to help to soothe and calm the stress in our bodies, which is really quite amazing. When I first heard about this, I was like, wow, that is just incredible. But I totally got it because of having the knowledge of knowing that, you know, things that we're putting into our body can have a change in how we feel and how we think. We just got to think about, you know, having things that are loaded like with high sugars, how that can speed things up and, you know, make you a little bit more And similarly, like how many years ago when children were eating certain sweets with colorants in them and all the E numbers, and you'd notice after 20 minutes or so after them eating a whole load of coloured sweets and things, that they would be going a little bit crazy. And it was also proven as well, like in the classrooms, certain foods that children were eating when they was in schools, if they were loaded with certain sugars and different chemicals that had been through processes and different preservatives, that sort of thing, were going to be impacting their concentration levels, their focus and everything else. So when we've seen these adaptogens are the new latest thing that are going into different drinks to help support the body, I totally thought, yes, this is a really next step to helping people deal with stress and anxiety. And the two main herbs that are taken from what's really well known in Ayurvedic medicine practices, and if you've not heard of Ayurveda before, it's basically, well, they relate it back to 5,000 years ago. And some people say even up to 10,000 years ago. That was really kind of like the very first healthcare system that was available. And it was like a holistic system that is to do with things like special herbs, and again, from old ancient Indian ways and tribes and things. And they would use certain things to help to prevent illness, but also when somebody did incur some kind of form of illness, to be able to treat them as well. And they wouldn't just use herbs and medicines and things, they would also do things like breathing techniques like Michelle's just mentioned, and being able to adapt to different lifestyles, so dietary changes in the body, meditations and yoga and various other things as well. So this kind of ingredient as such is related back to a proven history of being able to be effective in the body for treating certain ailments, and especially stress and anxiety. That's the particular adaptogens that I used in this particular inner health inner calm product. So those two are ashwagandha root extract and also saffron stigmas, and they're both well known for, as I say, that Ayurvedic effect in the body. And Arbonne have actually done all the clinical testing on these as well to have that efficacy, so that they're actually proven to work in these amounts where they're put into this inner calm product too. So you've got that definite self-assured knowledge that it has been tested and that it does actually work. And if you actually use this over the month, which it's got 30 servings in, that's when you see the real significant changes to reducing stress and anxiety. Obviously, you need to then still also work on whatever it is that you are stressed about, and to see if you can manage it better. But it has that ability to stop you from going into that kind of like meltdown phase when the stress goes over the edge and you start to then lose it, or you start to then spiral. So it helps to keep you into something called more of the resistant phase of stress. So we've got 3 phases of stress, where it's getting alerted in our body, the resistant phase, where we tend to just deal with whatever we're dealing with and we can cope with things, and then the exhaustion phase, where it's literally starting to fall to pieces. And this adaptogen allows you to stay in that resistant phase for longer. So it's definitely a good thing. As I say, it can go into different drinks, teas. It's also got a lovely peach flavour to it. It's a really light peach taste to it. And a lot of it is from the green tea extracts as well, because it's got a natural amino acid in that too. So it supports the body in that way too. And I think that's probably as much as I can give you information-wise right now about this, other than I'm going to show you the box because I love it. So if you wanted this as a kit, it comes as a special set of products. So you've got your 3 skincare, and it makes such a lovely gift as well. And it's got a beautiful leaflet inside too. So any questions on those, then just fire away, and I'll hopefully be able to answer them, and if not, I can get back to you